honestly, like this past summer, this past few weeks, I've been going through a lot of transformation, a lot of change. And I feel like this past year, honestly, has been about letting go for me.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're kind of just going in a little bit differently than normal. This is going to be potentially a new style for us filming. We're kind of not going in with too much to talk about. We're just going to talk back and forth more like a podcast
we'll
style.
be talking about a lot of things. It's just not going to be as structured. We're going to experiment with a new format, see how it works, because every video we have mostly has been very structured. But then we go through so many things day to day, learn so many things, and we also every day we have such juicy conversations, growth oriented conversations, you know. And so we figured, why don't we try this format where we just casually talk and kind of reflect on the week with you, what we learned, what it can be applicable to you guys as well. And I'm sure you'll find something that is useful for you as well. And of course, as usual, comment below if it is anything that you learned, and we'd love to hear from you.
You got a haircut.
Yes, first thing first, say hi to my new haircut. I'm debuting it on YouTube today. If you follow me on Instagram, which we'll attach right here, I cut my hair and I was just ready for something new. I was honestly, like this past summer, this past few weeks, I've been going through a lot of transformation, a lot of change. And I feel like this past year, honestly, has been about letting go for me. Letting go of like relationships that haven't been really healthy, letting go of my old habits. I've let go of caffeine and sugar mostly, which is absolutely insane for me because I don't drink, I don't party, I don't do a lot of things, but sugar and coffee seemed like my thing. You know, everybody has...
That was your vice.
That was my vice.
Sugar was your vice.
Yeah, sugar and coffee. And even the days that I could let go of sugar, coffee was something that I was like, I can't, you know? And to be finding myself here today where there are days on end when I don't have both sugar and coffee, that's like unbelievable. And then you may also know from what we've shared before, I've gone to a couple of big summits this past month. I've gone to a coaching summit with Brendon Burchard, and I've also gone to the Summit of Greatness with Lewis Howes and a lot of great speakers. And I think those two also jump-started something in me. And the last bit was my dead hair. I felt like I needed to do something that reflected the transformation that I've been going through inside. So here we are today.
Cute.
Jonathan was opposed to me cutting my hair, of course, as most men love women with long hair, of course. And, you know, this is just to remind you, do what you need to do. And of course, you want to care for your partner and you want to care for what they like, what they don't like, but ultimately, it's about you. And honestly, hair grows back. It's not permanent. If you're in that phase of your life that you need something new, change your hair of color, which I did as well, and cut your hair, and if your partner really doesn't want it, it's okay. I encourage you to listen to what you need within. And in the end, Jonathan still loved it, so...
Well, I mean, let's be honest. If your partner's gonna be upset with you and leave you, or not want to look at you over a haircut, do you really want to be with that person anyways?
Yeah, you ultimately want a partner that encourages you to do whatever lights you up, right? And
regardless of if they agree with it or not.
Yeah, and honestly, the couple of days before my haircut, I was having a really hard time. I was in the funk. And I'm not saying go have a drastic haircut whenever you're in the funk. I honestly just, my haircut and my hair color wasn't great for a while. And I just like kept postponing because I just got my hair done, so I didn't feel like I wanted to go and do it again, to like damage my hair again and like spend the money. So I was postponing it, but then I kept finding myself being not confident with my hair on camera, or when I was going out with my friends and we would take group pictures, or like they would take videos of the table, and I would be like, oh my gosh, is that my hair? And as I shared before on one of the videos, your hair and how you look and what you see in the mirror is so important to your sense of confidence. It's not everything. It's absolutely not everything, but it is so important. Like, you can work on your sense of self-worth and self-confidence till you're blue within. But if you look in the mirror and you're like you don't like your hair, you don't like your makeup and your style, you're wearing sloppy baggy clothes, not to judge, but like, and you look at it and you like don't feel good, which was my case, then that's something you can change. Why not put something on that will light you up? That just doesn't make sense to me. Obviously that's not everything, but it definitely helps.
I got a haircut too, but nothing drastic here.
You go to the same person.
I've been going to the same person for the last 6 years. I'm loyal. I'm loyal to my hair cutter.
We've been doing a lot of new things. Been making new friends. I've been on Bumble to meet new friends. If you don't know, there's Bumble BFF, which is the same app that you use for dating, but you can also use it to meet friends. So if you're ever in a new place, in a new country, city, or honestly in a new place in your life, which is where I am, and you feel like you've outgrown a lot of your friends and you no longer fit in the same circle, or you can just want to diversify with different type of friends, Bumble BFF is really, really great to meet people that you might not necessarily bump into in your yoga class or in your Pilates class. Sometimes, honestly, I'm introverted, so I'm not even sure how people meet at a Pilates class or in a supermarket. I don't freaking know how that goes.
When is the last time you've talked to a stranger when you're out in public? Because it's like, I've been at the gym, like I just go to the gym, I work out, and then I come home, listen to music the whole time. Everybody there, unless they came with like a group of friends, is doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, and also
you go to a Pilates class, you're working out the whole time, and then you leave. So like,
exactly, how awkward is like, oh hi, I'm this, oh you look like you could be my friend. Like, I mean, I'm not judging. If somebody comes up to me and they seem cool, and also how do I know if they seem cool from just looking at them? I feel like that's very kind of like superficial, like, because on an app you can actually write what your interests are, what you're into, like pictures, say 1,000 words. Like, I can see if you love to travel, if you love hiking, or if you love shopping. A lot of girls like post that they're like, you know, all around designer things, like unwrapping Chanel bags and stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's maybe not my friend, you know, not to judge, and I love stuff, but if all of your photos are like showing off, then so I feel like pictures are great. That way I can tell if more or less, and of course you go and meet to actually be able to tell. So, but yeah, going back to like in a workout class, how would that work out? Just like, I don't know.
You would just have to approach somebody.
But, and then say like, hey, let's have coffee. On what basis am I judging?
Hey, nice matching Beyond Yoga set. Do you want to hang out?
I'm also wearing a matching Beyond Yoga set, so we look like we could be friends. Yeah, so that's why I use Bumble BFF. So I've been meeting a couple of friends. One of them is a naturopathic doctor and is very into holistic health, and she seems incredible, enthusiastic.
She's cool.
Genuine, very cool, and we also had a couple of double dates. So yeah, I'm very excited about that friendship. And then the second one seems also cool, although we went on to an event recently, and I went to an event recently with her, and I thought it was like a lunch with other like-minded, like health-oriented, wellness-oriented people, but it ended up being kind of like a network marketing situation. So I don't know how I feel about that yet. And you know, sometimes of course in this events they always say like, oh, this is about community, this is about uplifting each other. So I don't know if this is about truly about that, or it's contingent on me joining this business. So I'll feel this out. I mean, ultimately I did think highly of these people, but obviously it's my first time meeting them, so we'll see how it goes. But it's kind of like I've been feeling kind of interesting where you meet people sometimes these days, especially when my intention has been to meet kind of driven but peaceful people, like driven, ambitious people who have goals, who want to make a difference in the world, who like have a business or like driven in their job, whatever it is, and love their work, and also have like a spirituality or like values where they care about others, where they they have right values, you know. I don't want to say right or wrong in a judgmental way, but values align to me.
Yeah, I think you can just say that your values are similar. It doesn't have to be a right or wrong.
Yeah.
But I think you're looking for someone who has similar values.
Similar values.
To be friends with.
To be friends with, yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like when I meet people in these circumstances, like say when we went to the Summit of Greatness, I also wanted to meet friends there, and we also ended up getting into this connection that was trying to get us into another network marketing situation. So I've been bumping into this lately, so I don't know.
It's a pattern.
Yeah, it's been a pattern, and it's not even my first time. Sometimes when people see that you're so into self-development and growing your career or growing your income and like driven, sometimes they're like,
boy, do I got something for you. Let me tell you about my business.
They lure you into the wrong things. Yeah. And they're like waving at how much they're making per month and how great of a life they're living, and kind of like utilizing the things that you are dissatisfied about in your life and the dreams that you have to exploit that for you to join their network marketing thing. And maybe it is truly a life-changing thing and they are doing me a favor and I'm just being stubborn over here, but it just doesn't feel good when you are, you know, open to a genuine connection and friendship and the person is clearly like, you know,
how many people have you genuinely met that aren't trying to sell you on the network marketing, MLM, whatever it is, that actually are happy and successful in what they're doing? The only people that I've ever heard talk about it and talk about how successful they are the ones that are trying to sell it to you.
True.
Not like anyone just passively mentioning like, oh, I do this, I love this.
Mm-hmm.
It's always when it's someone trying to get you involved and get you to buy into it.
True, like they're selling the dream.
Because that's how they make their money, is they're getting other people to sign up.
You and Jonathan met one of the friends, one of the people at the Summit of Greatness. What did you think about that? You were the one who called it out like that, right? Like,
yeah, so no, this person, we met this person, and initially they seemed really genuine, they seemed really kind, they were sharing some vulnerable stories about another retreat that they had went to, so it seemed like, okay, you know, like it seemed like someone that Anne would definitely be able to hang out with, get along with.
Yeah, she also went to the same health coaching school as me, the IIN nutrition school. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she taught, like, she was articulate, she was easy,
Russian,
she was easy to talk to, like, and it's like, Anne and her connected on Instagram before going to the summit, so they had talked back and forth, and they agreed to meet up there. And then when we met, it's like she was including me in the conversation as well, so it wasn't like I was just excluded. She was talking to both of us, and it was a good conversation. And then at some point, it just seemed like everything turned from friendly conversation into like slowly to a sales pitch.
Pretty quickly, actually, like after the first like 20 minutes.
Maybe so. We had walked and we went to go get food and stuff, and then we sat down.
And I was even surprised that she spent time exclusively with us, because she came to the event with her friends. And at the lunch break, that was 2.5 hours, she spent the whole time with us, which I already thought was kind of interesting.
It made sense after we sat down and we started to eat, and she was talking about this company that she works for, and she was telling us about the essential oils that they share, and that she's going to bring us some samples, and
I should go to the summit, fly to Utah now.
And then she has a bunch of other wellness coaches that are working under her for this. And it's like, I start hearing this and I'm like, eating my food. And I'm like, yeah, okay, tell me more,
Yeah, and you can sell these supplements to your clients. Yeah. And, you know, I want to recommend to my clients and to the people I know the things that I genuinely believe in, the things that I genuinely use, like, or have heard from doctors that are effective, not just some network marketing thing that is going to pay me commission. Like, that doesn't make me feel good, and I want to have the right intentions with my work and with the things that I recommend. And that's why on YouTube or my Instagram even, I don't really do a lot of sponsored content, because I say no to most of offers if I don't use them. I mean, of course, if the brands that I'm already using offer me a deal, like, I'll be happy to do that. But if it's a brand that I've never heard of, or like I know isn't great, because I know a lot of influencers behind the scenes say like, oh, this product is really not great, but they're paying me, so I'm gonna talk about it. And I just don't believe in that. And I think our world is like saturated with content like that, and with people who speak like they use it when they actually don't, just because they're getting paid
Well,
for
yeah,
it.
it's a paycheck. That's how they're making money, and
Yeah.
if that's what they decide to do, then that's what their value is. They value making money more than promoting wellness or promoting positive consumerism, whatever the case is. You just value wanting to share and promote products that you believe in, that you use. And that's like, that even goes for me. I don't have a platform where I'm trying to like makeup. Like, I'm not getting people asking me to promote makeup or deals or anything like that. But just in my personal life, like talking with my colleagues or friends or family,
Yeah.
I won't share supplements that I'm taking or talk about things that I wouldn't actually believe in. Like, you know, I have like a great probiotic you should try. I have a great, you know, vitamin, or like where we order our meat from even. It's like I don't share this and promote this stuff because I'm getting paid to, just because I genuinely want to. And that would like transitions into what you're actually getting paid and stuff to do, right?
Yeah.
Like with the makeup, you use that makeup, you already use that makeup before they ask you to do the promotion for it.
Yeah, and if normal like brands send me products, I'd rather they don't if it's not the products that I genuinely want to try. Yeah, I'd rather not have too many products at home. I'm very conscious of what I have and what I use, because I can't carry all of the stuff for work. Like in my kit, it's too heavy, and I also don't want to clutter my house. So if brands want to work with me, I usually like ask them to send me like specific products that I'm actually genuinely interested in using, instead of just a bunch of products that I don't know if I'll use.
Yeah. So, moral of the story, network marketing doesn't feel good. If you are into network marketing and someone's just trying to have like genuine friendly conversation, connection, maybe just pump the brakes if you feel like you're trying to get them involved, and just have a conversation with them.
Although I understand you have to do that to survive, it just doesn't feel good when
You're on the receiving end of that.
yeah. So a little feedback.
Unsolicited feedback is criticism.
Unsolicited feedback, yeah.
So there's our criticism to you.
I hosted my very first webinar last weekend, and last Sunday, and that was really fun. It was my very first one. I just have been always really afraid of public speaking. Even in school, I would be petrified to speak in front of the class and presenting, and I honestly haven't had a PowerPoint presentation or anything like that since college, I feel like. But even college, it was very like just to get the grade, just get a good grade, just for checkbox, you know. But now it was actually my passion project, my baby for my business, and the topic was on self-worth in relationships. In case you missed it, that's okay, because I will be hosting at some point, so stay tuned, because I will be hosting different ones every other Sunday, and yeah, it will be different topics every time. And at some point I will repeat some topics, but maybe not exactly the same. I was thinking actually to maybe the next one could be the same topic, but actually this time have a group coaching session. So you know how last time I was more talking about like how to do it and what was self-worth in relationships and how it looks, and maybe this time it can be more where other people can engage with me and each other and actually bring up their specific issue, specific question, and maybe have like a little group coaching session. I'm not sure yet. Or I'll do a completely different topic. And I was thinking about self-worth in business or career.
That's a good one. I think it's hard for people sometime in their careers.
Yeah, because a lot of times people also want to, want to have their own business and they don't feel like they're deserving of it, or sometimes your self-worth in business affects whether you negotiate or not, whether you ask for a raise or not. It impacts how you behave even at work and your relationships at work.
I was going to say just how you're at work. Like if you're in a place where you are not happy with your job and you just feel stuck, you feel like you're not worthy of anything else, you can get frustrated, like, why am I here? Why am I stuck in this position? This isn't what I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
So that would probably be good. I would have loved to attend that one.
Or you can honestly even be tolerating a very toxic, abusive work relationship. Like I was assisting the celebrity makeup artist Patrick Ta, and he was incredibly abusive, and he was abusive to all of his assistants, and I thought that I had to tolerate that for 5 months I did that, and I would cry every day, and the assistants were doing the same thing, and then I finally left. But now looking back, I'm like, why did I ever think that I had to tolerate that? I had to push through that to succeed in my career. You see, that is low sense of self-worth. So yeah, it's just a lot of times we don't realize how that impacts our work.
Yeah, I think it would be good too, like along that same line, but maybe you are feeling like, you know, you're tolerating something that you shouldn't be, but maybe you could explain to people like where that line is, like what is healthy, you know, distaste for your boss, or healthy distaste for the course of, you know, where things are going, versus, hey, this is really not right for me.
True.
Because I think it's kind of hard to determine, because, you know, everybody's like, I'm not gonna say everybody, but a lot of people are just like not happy with their work just because it's having to go to work every day. So where do you draw that line of this isn't for me versus this is just discomfort of working, commuting type thing every day?
True. And even the part where you feel like, oh, this is just, I'm not happy about my work, then sometimes it could be the toxic work environment, and sometimes it could also be just you needing to shift your perspective, right? And shift to gratitude, and shifting to like see what you actually do have. And that's a very valid point and question.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, and ultimately, why self-worth and work and business? Because as you can imagine, that really impacts your health, right? Because I am a wellness coach. So this is very important, because your work stress, the stress that you bring from work, it impacts your relationships at home, it impacts your health. I know that working after 5 months after working with that celebrity makeup artist, I was so distressed. It really impacted my mental health. And ultimately, I feel like right now I'm working so hard to reverse all of the things with my hormones, adrenals, thyroid, and gut issues, is because all of my 20s and teenage years, I was always so stressed out, including working in places like that where I was stressed and petrified to go to work every day. And then when I come home, I would cry and stress about the last day of work and be petrified about the next day of work. So it makes complete sense that it does impact your health, and why this is so important to discuss when it comes to your wellness. And we spend so many hours at work.
Yeah, I mean, between commute and at the office, you're looking at, you know, almost 10 hours a day probably for most people. And I think you were telling me that stress is a silent killer, right? So you have all this stress consistently throughout your week, and then you come home and, you know, other aspects of your life are trying to balance. You know, maybe you have a passion project you're trying to work on outside of work, and or you have bills that you have to pay, laundry, dishes, taking care of your kids, making sure you spend time with your friends and family. Like, a lot of things can just feel overwhelming, and I think that that's kind of the intent of, and focusing in on self-worth in all these different topics, and focusing on self-worth for her coaching program, because, you know, if you're prioritizing your self-worth and self-care, then that will translate into all other aspects, and you can, you know, be positive and feel better, eliminate that stress type thing.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, I ultimately decided to specialize in self-worth. So my coaching would be very centered around self-worth in action. So, you know how self-worth is so vague sometimes, and when you don't have it, you're like, I know I don't feel enough, but how do I actually build my sense of self-worth? I know that I've been there. So that's why my mission became to really help people implement self-worth in day-to-day, because after coaching people with everything from shoulder pain to heartburn to relationships to working out, losing weight, I realized, oh wow, at the center of it all really is self-worth, and even with building their business, right? So like, when you have a strong sense of self-worth, a healthy sense of self-worth, your relationships are better, because the way of you show up in relationships, your career choices, like, you know, you have more confidence to, although confidence and self-worth are so different, we'll get to that at some point. You feel worthy commanding your rate, right? Or you feel worthy of the dream job that you want, and you feel worthy of the partner that you desire, of being treated the way you want, and you feel worthy of choosing foods that love you back instead of getting into these self-sabotage patterns. And you work out, you move your body because you love yourself, instead of like, oh, I have to go to the gym again twice in today, you know, and because you're like really loathe your body. So honestly, to live the life that is vibrant, that is passionate, that is to live the life that is beautiful and colorful and the life that you love, I think it is absolutely crucial to have sense of self-worth.
Okay, bye guys. Thanks for checking out the video. We will see you next time.
I hope you like this new format and let us know. Perfecting it still, we're just trying new things out. So see you next time.